It's a very insightful and worthy program on leadership and executive management. And I come from a public sector background. Specifically, I work for Lagos State Government and in a leadership capacity as well as the head of service. And what this has done for me is to avert my mind and my thoughts towards things that I took for granted but didn't think about at all. It's opened my eyes to understanding that to be an effective leader, you also have to be an effective follower. I need to surround myself with people better than me and learn from them, which are values that are not really existent in our culture and community, but they are values that drive very effective and efficient governments and organizations. TEXEM the vision is one that I align with, so I rate them very highly on a scale of 1 to 10. I'd give them between an 8 and a 9.
The program is good, very lovely, very impactful. I'm not disappointed, but I'm not surprised because I know the pedigree of Dr. Abubakar and of TEXEM as an organization. The beautiful thing about TEXEM is they adapt their training courses to take into cognizance the environment in which they are operating. And they are able to bring together people from various industries, various phases of life. That way you're able to share experiences and get more insight into. So you see, when you go to their courses, you're not seeing people only from manufacturing, service, even from government. So you're able to talk and share experiences, and everybody is better off from that experience.
Actually, in fact, I don't even have enough words to express what I have gained. I was bedeviled by brain damage about some few months ago. By coming here, I have been taught how to learn again, how to march forward, how to go with the world economic system. If I don't have enough words to explain what I have gained from here. Since yesterday, I have been very busy reading. Initially, I wasn't ready because I don't even know where to start. From this little time I have been with them, which is about a week-long program, I have now learned how to move forward.
Oh, the program has been very, very wonderful, because a situation where we have so many issues in our companies, in our organizations, even in Nigeria as a whole, we need this kind of program to energize us to be able to chart a positive way, and then of course handle the issues more maturely and sustainable, especially in this era of low growth. Nobody's happy about it. But then, by the time we're equipped, as you guys have done here, we will go home better leaders and of course better managers, let me put it that way.
TEXEM as an organization, I think they are doing a lot. Because sometimes when you have this type of workshop, a lot of the things they do or talk about are foreign. But TEXEM has been able to bring it down to our own level in Nigeria. Comparing what happens here to what happens, in other developed countries, and try to see how best we can do it better like they do in some other advanced countries. And it has taught us on how to go about when you have some issues on hand, how you want to be able to carry your team along. As a team leader, how you want to be able to carry your team along. If there's a change you want to be corrected, how you want to sell that, the idea of that change to your team, to your team members, how you want to, want them to embrace that change and then be able to be part and parcel of that change, so that the change you are thinking about can, at the end of the day, be a success.
I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. I think that this is a fantastic forum. I love the style of presentation. It's very refreshing. I like the coaching, style, which actually allows you to interact, but at the same time you're learning. But above all, it's fun. Really, I haven't seen this anywhere, because it's very, very different to what I have been exposed to in the past. This is really, really, really good, and I would recommend it to anybody. I really want to thank TEXEM, and I think this is a wonderful opportunity that everybody should take. I would say that TEXEM is an excellent organization in the sense that they're doing things differently from the way other people have done it. Again, like I would say, style of presentation is very different. Style of lecturing comes across like you're not being lectured. It just looks more like you're having fun. And, you're actually taking in so much at the same time. I've learned so much today and yesterday. And I know that I have acquired skills that will enable me to, be a successful leader in these turbulent times, an era of slow growth.
I think the program is an excellent one. It's a great opportunity for us to reskill, learn new techniques, new processes to manage organizations as a leader, to manage change in a dynamic environment, in organizations, especially in the public sector as well. I think it's a world-class organization, it's a world-class institute, looking at the quality of the materials, the quality of the facilitators. I think it's a world-class program. It could be anywhere else in the world, and it's a good standard, and they should keep the standard up.
I think it's been quite interesting because TEXEM, I have never participated in their programs. This is the very first time, and I found it very useful. More importantly, we've been training ourselves so much, going outside the country and spending so much money. But now, with training facilities from companies like TEXEM coming into Nigeria, I think the important thing now is that we can save a lot of money in foreign exchange, still be very close to our offices, and then benefit immensely from the wealth of wisdom of the facility people in the program. So I think today has been very useful for me. Some of these things one have gone through before, but it's been very refreshing being able to go through them again from other perspectives, and of course taking examples from Europe, America, and being able to place them side by side with our practice in Nigeria. But overall, it's been extremely useful.
We're happy to be here. The program is running, and what is expected is what we are getting. At least the program is quite enriched, and people are contributing positively towards the success of the program. So it's a happy ending. Well, I haven't known them for a while, but then I have just been briefed on the organization, and I think the organization has started well and it's growing. And I'm so happy to see a young Nigerian in this field of training, which is mostly dominated by Western world. So if we have one of ours, no matter where he stations it, whether in UK or in Nigeria, what matters is that he's a Nigerian, and he's doing that to bring out the qualities in Nigerians.
This is the second program I'm attending from TEXEM, and the content is excellent, the faculty is excellent, and I'm happy about the learning. TEXEM as an organization that have been trying to build capacity in Nigeria have done very well. And the training programs, like I said, the content is excellent. They mix international with local faculty, so they bring both knowledges from diverse faculty and experiences, and I think the mix is excellent. It gives us the worth of the training.
For a while, for over the years, we've been to and fro on meeting with them, and knowing their capabilities in training. I must say that I'm quite impressed. This is my first training with TEXEM. I must say that it's beyond my expectation, really and truly. So most of the topics, like the one we had today, typically delved into things that I had heard, but I haven't really had the opportunity of, knowing in depth, like the new corporate governance for companies and these sustainability policies. So today they schooled me on it. Really, I was impressed. I just told Dr. Alim that he's doing a brilliant job with his team, so they should keep it up.
Well, in terms of the ignition, it was very spot on. And I think the content also was very relevant because it had real-life industry experience to it. And the speakers, Clive and Rodrine, were very insightful. They brought a lot of experience to the discussions, and they came with real-life practical examples. The discussions were a bit more, we were very inclined towards things that were happening both in the pension industry in Nigeria and also the Nigerian economic space. So it was very relevant and very useful.
Well, this is the first time I'm attending a program organized by TEXEM, and it's really an accelerating experience. It has opened quite a wide door for understanding of the development in digital tech and how the board of directors can key into such new deployments in the digital world. I will recommend this course to all directors of all companies because digitalization is here and is here to stay. So people need to have a proper understanding of what it takes.
This is my first session with TEXEM. They've come out as cerebral and assembling good instructors. The two persons who took these sessions have pedigree, I can see. They've moved around, apart from knowledge. There's experience behind every discussion. And they have actually captured the essence of the modern day business, challenges of corporate governance, and then the digital world. Today it is man and machine. And for some persons who are on the advanced side, it's a slight challenge accepting the reality of the new digital world. But this session has re-emphasized it is innovate or die. And I'm in sync with that. We are trying to catch up. It's just a reminder that we need to wake up.
It's packed with, it's a 3-day packed program with different topics. I learned about organizational dexterity, about exploitation and exploration aspects of an organization, and how to strike a balance. I also learned about the 3 horizons of growth. I didn't know that. And the fact that once in a while you have to clear out, calm down to take serious decisions. And one major key takeaway for me would be the fact that fear is our biggest enemy. And once you can conquer fear, you are able to do anything. And so it has been an exciting and insightful 4 days for me. I got to network with people from back home that I didn't know. But overall, it has been an enjoyable experience, learning especially from Cadbury how they've been able to stay in business all these years. That's a classic example of a company or an organization that is resilient. And that's why I came. How do we become resilient in this age of disruption? So TEXEM, thank you.
Good afternoon. If you could start with your name and what company you work for.
Okay, my name is Ifanyani. I work for Total EMP Nigeria, CPFA, Limited. We're closed pension fund administration. So I'm into fund and asset management.
Okay, so the first question will be, what did you like about the program?
I actually like the program, the 4-5 day program. The way, first of all, we started with practical examples. We visited the Shakespearean area, and then we also visited Cadbury. So people who have already implemented some of the things we're actually learning, or we learned at this particular course. So we saw it happen, and then we now went back on the second day, that's on Tuesday, Wednesday, and today, to learn the theories. And one thing I also liked so much was the fact that we had a lot of group studies, coming up in group, discussing issues, and then people coming out to make presentations about the results of what we have learned. And it was done in such a way that we get to meet many of the other 20 or 19 participants, and everyone had a chance, to talk. Everyone had a chance to make, presentations. So we find that the participation was everybody took part, in it. It was easy for each person to, participate, and also gave very good opportunity for networking amongst all the participants. So I think it's a very good program.
Okay, I know you spoke a little bit about what you learned. What would you say your favorite thing about the program would be?
My favorite thing about the program would be, drawing our attention again to ever, I would say, to change, which is being a constant in life experiences, change in our lives, change, in businesses, the dynamic, things about business, the evolution of businesses and the way we do things. That's something that we have to constantly pay attention. Another thing I liked about the program as well, apart from management in a very volatile, challenging, uncertain environment, is the fact that, like in the evenings, we had other, discussions, other lectures, for example, on cybersecurity and mental health, which is not just equipping us to know what is happening around us, even equipping us personally, our mental health, paying attention to also the ever-evolving cybersecurity, environment. These are things I would say that made it very, very interesting.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you so much for your thoughts and how you feel about it. So I'm just going to start off with, what's your name and what company do you work for?
My name is Dr. Musa Mohamed Zagi. I work for NUPRC Nigeria. NUPRC is the petroleum regulator for the upstream sector in Nigeria.
Okay, and first question, what did you like about the program?
I like so many things about the program because it's kind of very, very interactive, very insightful. Even the lecturers were carefully selected. They came with full of experiences. So here we are matching theories and experience, practical experiences. And also we interact with all other colleagues that will come from different public and private sectors. And then at the end of the day, we also carry out some exercises to test how our understanding on the program is all about. So I like the program for its wide coverage, resourcefulness, and interactions with colleagues across public and private sectors.
Thank you. And what would you say what you have learned from the program?
Well, I have learned that it's always good to have continuous learning process. Every day you come, you learn something new. I'll go back, I'll impact very positively to my work environment. I come here to learn. Now leadership is just about how you manage both your leaders and your followers. So, and also how you are concerned about their well-being. So getting back home, I'm going to use this to improve my leadership skills and all the gaps that I've had in the past. The assumptions I have had now, I'm better informed on how to progress going forward.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Good afternoon and welcome. If you could just start with your name and what company you work for.
My name is Michael Faloshi. I'm the Assistant General Manager, Government, External and Industry Relations of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. That's the regulator for the power utility in Nigeria.
Okay, thank you. So I've got 2 questions for you. The first one being, what did you like about the program?
It's highly intense, very, very impactful, not just for the work, but for the life after work. How do you impact your life? How do you impact your environment? I've read a lot. I've read a few things about TEXEM before coming here, but I think my expectations were surpassed by any standard, by any way. The training institute can compare with any other one all around the world. The packaging, the faculty, everything is just excellent.
Okay, thank you. And what would you say you have learned from the program?
More importantly, the module on resilience. The world is changing and changing very fast. It is those who are able to adapt to their environment that will be able to survive or be able to make it to the next generation or the future. The level of resource persons, the faculty, really someone like James Peter, his life experience is kind of gives you hope, gives you that there's never say die. You must be able to reinvent yourself. That is very, very impactful. That at any point in time, you must be able to reinvent yourself, and that's a key message I have to go away with. My business must continuously reinventing my life, in my environment. I must continually to reinvent myself, to prepare myself to the next challenge. You never say, oh, I've gotten to the peak and this I have to rest. No, because you never know what's going to be the next challenge. So you must be on the alert at all time. It's a very, very significant message that I'm leaving here with.
Thank you very much for your answers. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Hello and welcome. If you could start off with your name and what company you work for.
Yeah, thank you for having me. My name is Mukhtar Hanga, Jais Bank PLC, Nigeria.
Okay, I've got 2 questions for you. The first question being, what did you like about the program?
A lot. I really enjoy the program. It's quite educating. Though stressful, but I enjoy it from the beginning to the end. And honestly, I would recommend whoever wants to come for a program like this to come to TEXEM.
Excellent. And what would you say you learned about the program?
I learned a lot, about so many things. Governance, risk, business, and politics. Politics, I was at the Shakespeare's Village, and I saw a lot. I've never been there before. And business, I was in Cadbury, and I'm highly impressed. And when it comes to the real thing that brought me here, it's fantastic about the cyber security, about what I learned today, and also what I learned yesterday. So it's very important. I have a lot to take home.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you for your time. Good afternoon and welcome. If you could start with your name and what company you worked for.
Oh, my name is Mustafa Assam. I am a non-executive director at Jais Bank.
Okay, I'm going to ask you 2 questions. The first question being, what do you like about the program?
I would like, first of all, to say that a few weeks ago, when I was nominated to come to this workshop being prepared by TEXEM, I was a bit skeptical because that was the first time I heard of the name. But then when the program of the events that were sent to me, and then I found that it's quite a new approach of workshop that I'm used to, because I've attended so many workshops organized by other organizations, but I found that the approach made by TEXEM is quite different.
Okay, perfect. And what would you say that you've learned about the program?
I think we mean what I have learned. I think coming here, first of all, when I found that the first day of the program will be visits to the Shakespeare's birthplace, and also to visit a chocolate factory, I was skeptical. I said, I'm a lover of Shakespeare, but I just said, what is it to do with business or whatever it is? But then after the visit, and then to the two places and coming back, and then I could see the correlation between what I'm supposed to know, and I really could understand the issues there.
Thank you for your answers, and thank you for being here today. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, and we're going to start with your name and what company you work for.
Okay, my name is Ademoye Shobo. I work for Lasako Assurance PLC.
Okay, and your first question is going to be, what did you like about the program?
Well, I like the way the program was structured. More often, most programs would have had the guided tour on the last day, which more often than not does not allow for full participation. But this one came in the first day and was a eye-opener with the lecture that were organized with it. So it allowed for full participation of the participants, and eventually it allowed for better bonding going into the full program.
And the last question would be, what did you learn from the program?
Okay, in the world of business uncertainty, the theme of the program is very apt, which is sustainability and resilience. And it's important that for a company to continue to be a growing concern, those are the key issues we have to look at. And there were a lot of exposures for the faculties that came to give us an overview, and it was participatory. It was something that we had to provide the solutions ourselves, and not something that was thrust on us. And one of the major advantages is also the diversity of the participants, the industry that we came from. It gave us a lot of opportunity to extract and come up with solutions that is going to be homegrown and not theoretical. It's something that you would go back and then you can easily apply to your particular industry.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Hello and welcome. If you could start with your name and what company you work for.
My name is Charles Crawford. I'm a former British diplomat, and sometimes I work for myself, but other times I work with a group called the Ambassador Partnership, which is a group of actually ambassadors from different countries, not just the UK. And we have a consultancy and we try to get rich, not altogether successfully.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you first question. What do you like about the program?
Well, for me personally, I've never been to Nigeria, so obviously a lot of the program people I've met have been from Nigeria, so it's great meeting people from that background. And of course, Nigeria is a huge and complicated country, and so, Nigerians come in all different shapes and sizes and cultures and religions and so on, seniority. So it's impressive, if I can say so, the level of seniority they seem to get on the program. These are people who are doing real things and, enjoy their work and have come here to learn. And I think it's always, I've done a few programs now, and the atmosphere is always very open and sort of straightforward. People aren't shy about expressing a view. And so I'm not shy about expressing my views, and sometimes we have a quite a strong, lively exchange of opinions. So I think that side of it is very positive. I think people seem to be open-minded. I think this is the key thing.
Thank you for that. And the last question, what have you learned on the programme?
Well, I do a lot of programs, and I always think, I don't know what the participants learn, but I always learn much more than they do. Because every time you do these courses, people say things that make you think, maybe next time I've got to focus more on that, or that didn't quite work, or something else needs to be covered. I think what have I learned from this one? I think for me personally, the idea of going deeper. Here's a question, like hierarchy. The hierarchy of a corporation or the hierarchy of a government organisation. But then you go deeper, what's hierarchy about? It's about power. Okay, what's power about? Maybe it's about pride. And you keep asking what something's about, and you get to something which is almost abstract in the end, but it's very important in people's lives. So we were talking today a little bit about the respect for old people, for example. In the UK, I don't think it's as high as it is in Nigeria, that's for sure. And so they were saying, what have we lost in the UK? And I said, maybe we've lost a bit of our humanity. And I think there's something in that. I think as a culture, we in the UK maybe we never had it, so I don't know if we've lost it. But my sense is that now, in the way that Nigerians have that, it's not as strong in our culture. And that's sort of how it is, but that does make you think a little bit about how you think about your own relatives and how you think about getting old yourself. I wonder about this because my children are all of a sudden going to start thinking I'm old. Yeah. And so, this gives you something to think about. So I've respected the openness with which people have talked about these questions, really. That's been really good.
Okay, that's perfect. So thank you for your time, appreciate it. And thank you again. Thank you very much.
Down the value chain into the higher up the value chain, their services are extensive. If you go to McKinsey, they move basically all the way up the value chain, delivering high content information and services, etc. It's very interesting. Here you see that you can have robots that just read.
I'm here to help humanity create that future. Thank you for your questions. I look forward to the panel. Thank you for inviting.
I'm impressed at the level of organization for the 2-day seminar we've had here. I'm even doubly impressed by the fact that there's an African brain behind the whole concept, and the fact of the quality of faculty who participated in the training. So I think we should give a lot of commendation to TEXEM for the effort generally. I came here not as equipped as I am now that I'm leaving, and I'm guaranteed that the training I've had for these last 2 days will help me contribute positively in my position and to my organization.
I recommend TEXEM to spread the tentacles to the operators in the banking industry, and with the standard, the quality of facilitators TEXEM is using, they will definitely get favorable responses from the operators in the banking industry.
This training is centered about innovation and leadership in the digital world. And we have seen that because of the dynamic things happening within the space, there is need to innovate leadership and actually position organizations to be resilient to cope in this changing world. The program has been fantastic because it touches on so many significant areas of organizations. It touched about the leadership quadrant, where you need to see and assess your staff and the DNAs of your staff within the various segments to be able to position the organization. We have learned so many things, and I think it is a course to be recommended for as many people who would like to innovate leadership in this changing environment.
I must commend the entire team of TEXEM for doing a wonderful job by impacting knowledge on the participants. This is the second time I'm participating in the program, and it has really helped me a lot in discharging my responsibility. And even outside official engagement, apart from networking that we gained as well. So let TEXEM keep it up, and I wish them the very best. And how I wish people, everyone in the corporate world, can at one time or the other pass through the training of TEXEM. I'm sure the system will be better for it.
TEXEM is doing a very good job. I'm very impressed. I'm very, very impressed. They started well. The staff, they're very professional, they're very cautious, and they know what they're doing. In the next 1 or 2 years, I see them leading the industry in Nigeria and in the world. I've learned a lot of things. I can't even start saying all of them. But the take home from this is leadership. Leadership is very key. It's very important in Africa. That is what Africa is lacking, and that's why we're here where we are today. We really need to take things to the next level. The facilitator, the professor, did a good job. She was able to x-ray all the problems Africa is facing and how we can leverage on what's happening in the Western world and take Nigeria to the next level.
Well, I think that I see a lot more people coming up and taking notes of what TEXEM is doing. I see that the program content will be a lot more robust. I see many other faculty members embracing this, and it's something that eventually relevant persons in authority, those who matter, will actually understand that TEXEM actually plays a role to just wake that up in us that we have, to perhaps just get us to where we need to be and take our pride of place and play our role in the scheme of things in the Committee of the Nations.
If this momentum and passion is maintained, I see TEXEM doing global classes, global master classes for executive minds across the world. Because the materials shared here are not materials for Africa only. They are global materials, thinking globally. So in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, TEXEM should be doing global master classes beyond here.
It's been a really amazing experience. First, with the way TEXEM has structured its training and has continued to provide executives with knowledge needed to carry out their function. For the training, the experience has been amazing in the sense that we've been able to get a better insight into what our specific role are, who we are in organizations, and how we play a role in a bigger picture.
Good afternoon and welcome. So I would like to ask you 2 questions. If you'd like to introduce yourself, please.
I am Abimbola Boduni. I'm a technical advisor to the Authority Chief Executive of Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority.
Okay, perfect. And what did you learn about this program?
The program has challenged me a lot. I've learned how to build an innovation culture. I've learned what it means to be creative, what it means to build innovation, what it means to translate innovation, what it means to also do digital transformation, because you can't talk about innovation this day and age without talking about digital transformation. then also the process to achieve that, especially in a turbulent system like my system organization is kind of like having, whether it is a new company, whether it's a company that wants to pivot, a company that is transitioning. The training program has pushed my stakeholder understanding, my stakeholder mapping techniques, and I'm really glad I came.
Thank you very much for your time, and thank you for answering the questions. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And welcome. So if you'd like to introduce yourself and tell us what company you come from.
Okay. My name is Abubakar Haruna. I work with Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority in Nigeria.
Okay, that's amazing. And what did you learn about this program?
Well, I actually acquired a wealth of knowledge from the program, and the TEXEM is really a company to a kind of impact positive knowledge to each and every public and private sector worker. And the wealth of knowledge acquired actually in terms of innovation, leadership techniques, and a lot of stuff were actually learned in the course of this program. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, and thank you for being here today. If you could just introduce yourself and tell us what company you're from.
Okay, my name is Judith Chalsagu. I'm from the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority.
Okay, that's perfect. And what would you say you learned from this program?
Wow, it's mind-blowing. If you have a growth mindset, you should be open to learning every day. This program has been an eye-opener. It has actually exposed me to a lot of strategic innovations. And my company, the authority, so to say, is an evolving one. And it capitalizes on growth, especially as it affects the regulatory body of the oil and gas sector in Nigeria. Our intention is to actually grow and meet with global expectations of what the regulations of the industry is as it affects the global society. Strategic planning actually should be one of our major aim. Our business is to get to the point of the goal. We want to achieve the goal. We are seeing the goal. We want to get to the goal and achieve the goal.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Good afternoon and welcome. Thank you for being here today. If you'd like to just introduce yourself and what company you work for, please.
Okay. Thank you, Shiana. I am Mma Owalaka from Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority back in Nigeria.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for that. And what would you say you learned about this program?
First of all, this program has been amazing. Beyond what we learned in class was the overall treatment. We've been treated so well, representing the name, the executive minds. What I've learned is strategy and innovation, and the fact that without adequate strategy and innovation, our iceberg may truly be melting. So this is a new organization, a new merger, and we have been taught to look inward to our customers and see how best we can serve them to remain very vital in the oil and gas industry, and that I'm grateful for. I'm also very impressed with the quality of professors that came to teach us practical and theoretical. It was such a beautiful thing. Thank you, TEXEM.
Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. Good afternoon and welcome. If you'd like to just say your name and what company you're from.
Yeah, my name is Tony. Good afternoon. My name is Tony Iziagwa from Nigerian Midstream Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, also called the Authority.
Okay, thank you. And what would you say you've learned from this program?
Yeah, I've learned so much from this program. It's been 1 week of insights, 1 week of thorough lecture. This week had been an eye-opener in the area of innovation, entrepreneurship, area of communicating innovation. Had been an area for me to learn more about innovation, how to communicate, how to manage difficult conversation. That is the highlights for me, because that is what I can use in my job. How to manage difficult boss, how to understand economic people in my team, and how to work with them, how to win them over. So it's been a wonderful time.
Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
This is my first TEXEM training program, and today is the second day, and it's been really intellectually energizing exercise. The program is organized to be a mix of lectures and class activities and the panel session. I think it's a global standard, and it's not yet over, but I think I've got lots and lots of insights already. Thank you.
I'm glad to be part of this session. First, it's quite participatory, and the quality of the resource people quite commendable as well. And the form of case studies also for the strategic sessions quite very enlightening, and delighted also with the quality of colleagues in there. Ideas were shared. We learned quite well from experiences from one another, and I guess this is a session I will want to be part of again. Thank you.
About the program, I think for me it's actually quite interesting. It's the first time I'll do a local program in Nigeria, and the few things I liked about it is, one is the diversity of the participants. We have people from the banking sector, security, news media as well, oil and gas, so it's quite broad, quite diverse. I also like the sort of edgy conversations we had with the folks like Christian and Alim, who are from the academic world, but coming into the discussion with quite a number of research concepts. But at least what I liked about it is it provokes thought. It's quite thought-provoking, and we had a very good conversation. And for me, what also stood out is the study work Christian has done over on these companies that have been there for 100 years plus. So my key reflection is, how do we take the insights and the perspectives shared to come and apply to our own industry, where we're also still very young. A lot of the very young companies in Nigeria, 5 years old, 10 years old, whom I'd like to see also remain in business and even grow beyond their strategy vision for another 50, 20, 50, 100 years. So that's what I liked about the program.
So I'm very glad that this course is coming up. I've enjoyed every part of it. It's been wonderful. The lecturers have put in their best, and we're going with a lot of knowledge about how to run our companies and how to grow our companies to make more profit, which is what business is all about. So I would recommend this course for anyone who wants to grow his business, who wants to grow his company, and say to them that it's a worthwhile course to attend for business executives. Thank you very much.
During the program, we've been able to understand the value that people add to the growth of an organization, how people can enhance success and long-term goals of the organization. It's also essential to note that in building organization, focus must not just be on the short-term values, not just on the short-term goals and aspirations of the organization, but on sustainability, on the long-term value to be created. So if you look at the entire experience, I must say that there's a mind shift, there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of drive, and there are loads of things that can be added onto the organization to ensure that the success level is sustained and the organization is a lot more impactful.
Well, the program has been very interesting, quite insightful. So we're able to learn quite a lot of things about what makes companies long-term and sustainable, running a sustainable and long-term business. So some of the cases are companies that have been around for 100 years, so we can see some of their characteristics, and I think it's quite interesting to look at some of those models and see how we can apply them here.
Good morning. Thank you for being with us. So can you tell us your name and a bit about what you do?
My name is Yusuf Moazu, and I work with the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority at the Human Resource and Corporate Administration Department.
Okay, awesome. And could you tell me a bit about what you've learned over the past week on the course?
Like you know, the course is about strategic leadership for optimized performance in uncertain times, and I will say I've learned a lot in the last 4 or 5 days, and this is largely due to the faculty that have been drawn for the program, and we have benefited from the we have benefited from the richness of knowledge and experience of the resource persons, and I believe what I've learned from the program will provide me with the necessary skills and competencies to be able to manage my team much better when I return to my duty post.
Okay, thank you so much, and thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us today. Can you just say your name and a bit about what you do?
Good morning, and thank you for having me. My name is Amos Oliver Puribu. I work for the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, one of the oil and gas regulatory bodies created by the Petroleum Industry Act 2021. That's principally set up to monitor the emergence of a more viral midstream and downstream sector in the Nigerian oil and gas industry. Yeah, and I'm a manager in a unit called Hydrocarbon Processing Plants, Installation and Transport Infrastructure. I oversee midstream processing businesses, basically along the regulatory value chain. Thank you.
Wow, you're doing so much. That's honestly great. So, can you tell us a bit about what you think you've learned over the past week and how you might apply that when you return?
Yeah, so coming onto this program, I had a lot of expectations, drawing from my background as a manager for midstream and downstream processing and transport infrastructure. And the title of the entire program, which seeks to impart to managers necessary skills in managing very turbulent and indeed volatile situations at workplace. I was really very enthusiastic, and I could tell, and very well can tell right now, that the quality of delivery, especially from the resource persons that had come on to lecture us on this program, had been quite impressive. One of the things I think I can very much tell with the kinds of deliveries we've had is the delivery is more of the experiences of the persons that had come on board. These are resource persons that had years and years of experience, experiences that you can't buy off the shelf. Some of them are ambassadors, some are professors. Some of them have been in the corporate world. Their successes and their various endeavors. Captains of industries. They have been there, done that, and are here doing that same on us. And so it's been an uphill movement all along, in the line of the knowledge and indeed the input and the content that they had passed across to us. So I must say that I've actually gained a whole lot. It's going to help very much on my job schedule. Just currently, before we round up today, there's a session going on, that seeks to help us in managing very volatile situations, and we're on it, and I believe that me and my colleagues on this program would have very good tales at the end of it.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Can you please tell me your name and what you do?
Engineer Yege Abel. I am a regulator. I work for the Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Regulatory Authority in Nigeria as a regulator of the oil and gas industry.
That's great, thank you. So could you share a bit about your experience and what you've learned so far over the past week?
Well, this course has been quite informative and we've learned so much. Again, the title is Strategic Leadership for Optimized Organizational Performance in an Era of Uncertainty. And we do have a lot of uncertainty in the country. Back in the country, we're trying to get a strategic stock. We're trying to get a fund that should grow the industry, and this course has enabled us to know how to manage the changes that has happened with the amalgamation of 3 regulatory bodies into one. With this course, you should be able to come up with strategy in putting policies to develop our strategic stock and to grow the industry as required by the PIA. I've learned about leadership qualities, and change management, and so many other things.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing your experience. Hi, thank you for joining us today. Can you please tell me your name and what you do?
My name is Shehu Abdullahi. I'm the Manager Treasury, Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Abuja headquarters.
Wow, thank you. So can you also say a bit about your experience and what you've learned over the past week?
It is a lovely experience. From the very first day I came in for this program, I've learned a lot. From the outing we had, I learned a lot. As a strategic leader, I've learned a lot. I'm a better person, I'm better equipped with my technical skills, my experience in the office, and what I've gotten here. I think I'll be a better leader.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Can you please tell me your name and what you do?
My name is Ngozi Nwankwo. I work with the Nigerian Midstream Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority in Nigeria. I'm a chemical engineer and I work with the hydrocarbon processing plants, installations and pipeline infrastructures directorate.
Okay. That's awesome, thank you. And so can you just share a little bit about your experience and what you believe you've learned over the past week?
Well, I must congratulate TEXEM for the training because the training has been quite insightful. It has provided a knowledge that we need to succeed as leaders. I've learned so much on, especially working in an organization that is a new organization. NMDPRA is a new organization, and it requires this kind of training so that we can push it forward and to success. So I've learned how to turn surprises into opportunities. You know, the launching of the PIA, the signing of the PIA into law came with a lot of surprises. Now, rather than focus on the surprises, I'm going to go home looking at how to turn them into wonderful opportunities. That is one thing. I've also learned how to deal with stakeholders because they are very important part of the system. If you're not happy, then the system cannot function very well. So we have been taught in the course things we need to do to make sure that it happens. There are lots of things that I have learned. I only wish I have more time to talk. we have learned a lot, influencing, how to be an influencing leader, how to negotiate, how to communicate effectively, how to encourage people working under you by what you do and what you don't do, and then how to focus on the goal of the organization, because every organization has a goal. If you're not aligning with the goal, you may not be able to contribute your own part. So I've learned even more than what I have said. I wish I have more time. Maybe I would have said more. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience. Hi, thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Please can you tell me your name and what you do?
Yeah, my name is Adeyemo Adekunle Paul, Kunle Adeyemo for short. I am the state coordinator in Oshogbo Field Office of NMDPRA. So I coordinate all the activities in the field that has to do with services and operations.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you. So, can you share a bit about your experience and what you've learned over the past week?
Yeah, the program is so enriching. Despite the fact that I've attended so many courses of this nature, I am more exposed this time around into cleaner knowledge and the newest information has to do with new technology added with new knowledge of strategic management. Most especially is that of 4 quadrants, and the way it was presented by James Watt, it puts me to understand the 4 classes of people, and I was able to find where I belong to among the people.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing your experience. Hi, thank you for joining us. Please can you tell me your name and what you do?
Thank you for having me. My name is Seyefa Gina Osanevi. I work as a manager in the Corporate Communications and Stakeholders Management Department.
Thank you. So can you also explain a bit about your experience and what you feel you've learned over the past week?
It's been quite exciting. I really liked the influencing and negotiating lectures we had, and leading in a volatile environment. Volatile does not really mean like the environment. It also needs to do with your staff. You might have some staff that maybe might prove difficult or something, so you really need to know how to manage the staff in occasions like that.
Okay, thank you. Would you like to make any other comments about your experience?
I think attending a TEXEM training is always a delight for me. It has actually broadened my horizon. The facilitators are well experienced, so I give it up to TEXEM.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing your experience with us. Thank you for joining us. Please can you tell me your name and what you do?
My name is Akinwale Abdurrahov Abolari. I'm the head of IT, infrastructure, and business management.
Wow, thank you. Okay, so can you share some of your experience over the past week and a bit about what you've learned and what you've liked?
I've learned a lot. The course is so insightful. It's brought out the in-depth knowledge about strategy, strategic executions, implementations, especially during the process of volatility, ambiguous, uncertainty, and the rest. The course is an eye-opener. It challenges our curiosity. How strategy can fail, how you can mitigate the failure, how you can guide against failure during the implementation. So the course is so timely and insightful. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for sharing. Hi, thank you so much for joining us today. Please can you tell me your name and what you do?
All right, so thank you for inviting me. My name is Olubunmi Bolanle Adeyemi. I work with the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. and currently I am in charge of the health, safety, environment and community for the industry there in Lagos. So that's just me at the moment, yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay, can you now share a bit about your experience over the past week and what you might have learned or liked?
Oh, great. Yeah, my assessment so far, it's just like I'm in a different world entirely. I've been attending trainings, and sincerely, I want to say this is a new world of great ideas, great things, world class indeed. Of course, I've attended quite a number of, when you look at the so-called highly rated world institutions, I tell you this is second to none. It's been practical, you don't even have to look into your maybe jottings for you to remember that's which all that I've learned. It's been a great experience indeed. Yeah, thank you. So in the area of when you look at strategy, it's right, that topic that is so interesting to me, as a person, and I've come to see that yes, things evolve every day. The strategies have come by here. I would say I've not really been in that arena before. Have learned a lot when you look at approaches, especially when you're talking of this VUCA environment. You look at when you look at the digital space, and then we're looking at the artificial intelligence. You look at various approaches, in actually executing, plans that you can't even imagine. So I'm beginning to see things from a different perspective entirely, and that, no doubt, I'll take back to my office, and I believe that I'm going to have great impact on the industry at large. So, and then when you look at the bonding has been great. What we have put in place as in the methodology, I would rather say, would I call myself to be, I think I'm in between, I'm not an extrovert, but then I've seen myself to say, yeah, you can do it. And then you see yourself coming out, with that great zeal, great energy, and that's what I'm going back actually with, to really put into place all that I've learned, when you look at your profession, and then we look at interacting with people, even the public as a whole. The exercise that is ongoing too as well, it's been great. I'm so energetic, and I'm ready to just give it all that I could, and to come out with great success. And I believe, yes, where we are, it's indeed a successful, outcome. Yeah, great.
Wow, what a wonderful answer. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us.
Okay, thank you for having me.
All right, my name is Adenike Awuson. I work with Greater Washington. I'm the MD. We started Greater Washington. I'm a co-founder. We started Greater Washington in 2009, and we do cargo, courier, logistics basically, intelligent logistics, service quality audit, and third-party verification as well. Well, my EVP attended a course here about 2 years ago, and he came back very excited, very geared up. And even from when he was here in UK, he kept sending us emails about all the things he had learned and how he wanted us to implement. And just a few weeks ago, he told me there was a course coming up, which was related to what was going on in the economy, and I felt it was a good opportunity to come and learn, to take back to my organization. Well, I learned a lot about leadership, about the different kinds of leadership, about also leadership from down up, not just from above. I also learned about problem solving, a lot about problem solving, and how we can also encourage our managers to solve problems at their level and not always feel the urge to always run up to the MD at every issue. So that was a learning curve. And also the whole strategic leadership thing, how the country, the nation is turbulent at the moment. The economy is a bit steep. And he talked about innovation, but the things you can look up to doing even when the economy looks a bit down. We can look into innovation, innovating new ideas, new strategies, and I think that's something I'm also going to take home. At first, it seemed like a lot of theory, you know, and then when questions were asked, then we were able to relate it to our organization. So I would say yes, if we had one more day, more of practical, more of our own real life experiences in relation to what it is that we're learning in class. Yeah, more practical. I enjoyed the case study also about the marketplace. Yeah, that was very good. And it also opened everybody's thinking faculty, you know, and more practical would do.
My name is Dr. Kenny Obateru. I'm the General Manager, NMPC London office. I came for this program to look at how problems could be solved in these challenging times. And I want to say that I have gained a lot from the 3-day program. The topics are very apt. The resource persons are quite good and knowledgeable. I think all of them had both work and academic experience, which is very good. So they gave in-depth, apart from the theory, they gave very good examples, which will very, very much help those of us that have participated in the program. The only thing I want them to add, maybe they could extend the program by 1 day so that we could have more hands-on practical experience, maybe particularly on the problem-solving topic, so that people can actually see how issues are dealt with, how problems are dealt with and solved. But generally, it's been very beneficial to me, and I sure will recommend it to my colleagues, so they can also benefit from the program. Thank you very much.
Well, my name is Eniola Bello. I work for This Day Newspapers, Lagos. I'm the managing director. It was an opportunity to recharge, to network, and to share experiences with people from diverse industry and background. It was a very interesting program. We were able to live with new lessons in leadership and how to spread leadership in an organization or public sector, bottom up, and share responsibilities, and transform the process of transforming a company in turbulent times. Yeah, I would say in terms of strategies of transformation, I found that quite exciting and quite kind of deepening my knowledge and widening my horizon. You know. That is in the area of being able to apply that to my organization. I think that would be very helpful. That would be very helpful.
My name is Falashade Ogunaike. I'm permanent secretary in the Office of Establishments and Training from Lagos, Nigeria. And I chose this program because we're in the middle of transformation at home, and especially in capacity building, I'm looking forward to something that I can apply to the transformation agenda back home. Application of problem-solving techniques. I think I've seen techniques that I can apply back home to solve issues, to get people on board to motivate, inspire, and build a team, a formidable team, to assist in delivering the goals and objectives of the office. Speak is scarce. It was very interactive, and perhaps because there's the added benefit that we have the same background, so he really is familiar with our terrain. But the others have been quite enlightening too. My horizon has broadened because I have knowledge, new knowledge that I didn't have before, and quite beneficial really. There were some topics that I think they're for the future. I really can't place them in my situation right now, but I believe that there's no learning that is useless. It really comes applicable at one time or the other. That there are some techniques of team building that I have learned here that I think might be applicable back home, in terms of motivating people, in terms of analyzing what people are really saying behind their action, matching their actions and their words to decipher their thoughts. So that's beneficial. And how to negotiate with people, how to put people on board. Maybe you need to apply the contract method over the transformational method. So quite a bit of stuff.
My name is Honorable Adebinkpe Akinshola. I'm the special advisor to His Excellency Mr. Akinwumi Ambode, the Governor of Lagos State, on Arts and Culture. Well, as the director or the organizer said, it was my governor that put my name on the list for me. I think he was here and he found it nice at this time to be part of the program so that it will help us in, discharging our duties as leaders and decision makers in the state. The course is coming up at this time. It's apt, and it's coming at the right time because globally there's economic turbulence. The states, countries are experiencing turbulence now. When we talk of problems, economic problem, financial problem, especially when you talk of oil and gas, the price of oil is going down every day, every now. And in Nigeria, the main source of revenue generation for the country is through the oil. And now that the price is going down, it's actually affecting the government, the central government in Nigeria, and by extension to the state, because the states derive their revenue, they get their allocation from the federal, and the federal is not getting the revenue as it ought to be. So this type of program will help us in looking at ways that we can generate revenue, other ways of promoting the economy aside from the oil. I think everything. The lecturers have been, so wonderful. The way they deliver their lectures, they do it in such a manner that you can understand it very well, and it has been an interactive, session. It's like the participants, the lecturers, is like a family thing. So they deliver the lectures in a way that we understand.
My name is Fije, the Managing Director of the Nation newspaper based in Lagos, Nigeria. The program is highly stimulating. I like the perspectives on leadership, the theoretical framework, and I would say that my analytical skill has been enhanced. I know how to analyze problems better. We live in a complex world and in turbulent times. And this program, I believe, will equip me with how to manage the challenges of the times and bring about change, motivate people, get ideas, even from subordinates, and think strategically towards leading my organization to desired and very profitable state for the benefits of all stakeholders. The program, I will recommend it to many people. I will recommend it to my colleagues in the office. I will recommend it to associates and friends, and TEXEM and Manchester Business School should continue with the good work that they are doing. Thank you very much.
My name is Michael Oladile, PhD. I'm the Director of Bank Examination Department of the NDIC. NDIC stands for Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation. The program has been quite impactful. You know, like I told some of my colleagues, for me, it's not just another program. But from the beginning to the end, I see it more like a mentoring, session. Because each of the faculty members have come to mentor and how to think strategically. What inspired me most, I'll tell you, is the way the program has changed my view, of how I'm supposed to, carry out my assignment, my job role. So arising from this program, I now know that I need to focus more on the bigger picture with the strategy and do less of, practical things which could be led to the reporters. And that presupposes too that I need to train them. I need to identify competencies. I need to deal with those who are willing but unable, train them by way of capacity building. And if there are people within my teams, who are willing and able, it means they must be encouraged so that they can continue to be part of the 20%, 20% of the organization that is able to build value, for our internal and external stakeholders. Thinking strategically is, for me, the key takeaway from this program. As a leader, you have to think strategically. It means you have to now discretionarily allocate, higher proportion of your time, because time is a resource that's limited. You have to, as a leader, now allocate a higher percentage of your time to taking strategic decisions. When I get back home, I'm going to reorganize myself. It will start from me. The change will start from me. Reorganize myself, look at those redundancies that fall within the realms of tactical, operation, then find a way to win myself out as much as possible from that, by developing competencies in my staff who can take on that while I think strategically. I'm going to further pursue, automation. For me, in the last couple of years, part of what we have been thinking about, how do we automate processes? For example, in my department, we develop a program we call, Bank Examination Department Block. Okay, so arising from this program, I now see the opportunity, okay, to use technology like, generative IT to further, improve on that application.
My name is James Maman. I'm the Acting Director of the Financial Institutions Supervision Department at the Central Bank of Nigeria. The most interesting thing about the program is the choice of the team and its timing, and of course the faculty in terms of the resource persons, their backgrounds, and their level of experience and the delivery of the various lectures. What inspired me the most are the major issues and the topics that were presented. In terms of those things probably I thought I knew I was doing rightly, but unknown to me, the learning has given me an insight to understand that I'm actually on the wrong track. In this case, what are the major takeaways, those issues that have been brought to the discussion, how they are going to improve my processes, how they are going to make me to be more efficient, how they are going to help me deliver on the major KPIs of my organization and for the department in which I'm leading. What ideas that have transformed are the major takeaways. For example, I've been able to understand as a strategic leader, I should be more concerned about thinking about the future, at the same time living the daily and operational activities to my subordinates. I give them the enabling environment for them to do their jobs, and then at every level within the organization, there are people that have responsibility to think strategically, and so I cascade that down the line to ensure that all of us together we both achieve our strategy. What I need to do differently is to act and behave differently when I get back to work. For example, I will expect to give my colleagues more opportunity to express themselves, to work at the levels, and of course, while keeping an eye on the bigger picture to ensure that we both achieve our objectives. I will also allow people to work in a manner and leverage on technology to drive our processes, because that's a major challenge that we have, by ensuring that while we need to deploy technology, we'll bring it on board to help us achieve efficiency and to work in an optimal and a most efficient manner.
My name is Akinwumi Lawal, MD CEO of MPF Microfinance Bank PLC, Lagos, Nigeria. Yeah, the program has been very interesting, exciting, knowledge sharing, and it has actually brought about a greater insight into what leadership is. Leadership is about looking futuristics. Leadership is about looking at the future, and then leaders are paid to think strategically. And the most inspiring thing that I want to discuss is that for me to be able to build a very strong team, the middle management must be empowered such that they have capacity to implement they should have the capacity to implement the organizational strategy. Most also very inspiring is about cyber is about people creating awareness and ensuring that adequate investment is put into it. These are quality things that the training has exposed one to, and really appreciate that I'm a partaker in this training. It has actually been very inspiring and absolutely knowledge enriching for me. Willing and able. I should be able to have a crop of staff that have the capacity and they have the ability and they're willing to transform the organization. Yes, ensuring that leadership thought and action are synchronized. Ensure that that the strategy of the organization and actions are complementary to one another, so we can deliver on superior performance for the organization. That is one good thing that I'm taking away from here, to ensure that we don't only have the strategic thought, we also be able to align actions to implement, so that we derive an effective performance for the organization.
My name is Nkesa Kukigam. I am the board secretary for the Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation. What I like most about the program is that it's thought-provoking. It stimulates your thinking. It's not just a theoretical program where you're learning about, the theory about leadership and strategy. You're forced to think, actually focus on it and what leadership and strategy mean in the digital economy that we are all operating in. I think what has inspired me the most is having to learn about the difference between being a strategical leader and a tactical leader. What we found out is that even though you're in a leadership position and you find out that you're more involved in the tactical aspect of things, just making sure that things are done the way they're supposed to be without devoting enough time to the strategic thinking, and then actually trying to find out if you're focusing on if what you do actually fulfills the purpose of your role. I think we've learned a new word, being a busy fool. So you're now forced to examine yourself on a daily basis. Am I what I am doing? So I'm really busy, but is my work fulfilling purpose? Am I actually being strategic, or I'm just being a busy fool, busy doing all the things I'm not supposed to be and leaving, the things that I ought to be doing? So that's very insightful for me. It's the whole aspect of having to focus more on digitization. Those were, it was a concept I was familiar with, but I hadn't paid much attention. So this has brought this to the fore to me. I've had to, like I said, pay much more attention to it. What does digitization mean? So for instance, it's digital transformation is not just about acquiring, the hardware. It's about the software. It's also about collaboration. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to do everything. So for instance, when they talk about AI, you don't have to go, learning coding and programming. Just have the basic knowledge and then collaborate with those who are the subject matter experts in order to, bring efficiency to your work. Well, I am going to have to embrace technology a little bit much more. I'm going to develop my technical competence. I'm going to have to learn more about it and be more open to adopting technology and try to see how it's going to work. And then of course I'm going to be definitely more strategic, leave the tactical aspects, delegate that to middle level management, and then see how digitization can improve efficiency in my work, and how we're going to onboard the whole ESG concept in digitization, how that would affect ESG, and a whole lot of, so I have a lot of work to do when I get back.
My name is Edu Oluwatoyin. I'm a bank supervisor at the Central Bank of Nigeria. Wow, it's so fully packed, and the quality of the faculty is second to none. I think hearing from Roger Delph and John, the RAF pilots that was shot down, and I think the quality of their presentation really got to me. I think the various strategic approaches, they seem to all be pointing towards the same direction, and I've already selected the one that best suits for me. I'm looking forward to deploying them both in my career and private life. So the first thing is I'm going to be less tactical. I focus more on the top level supervision of executing my strategies, actually, because I've realized, well, I've just been made to realize that tactical and operational issues can be left to the middle office or middle level officers in the organization, while I focus more on the strategy to deliver and make my organization better to be able to achieve its objective.
My name is Francis Chukwemeka Nelson. I'm the Executive Director of Finance and Administration. I work with the MPF Microfinance Bank PLC. Well, for me, the program is apt because before I came here, I have always been over-labored with tactical issues, and that kind of has weighed me down in the area, whilst trying to do my daily functions. And I observe that there's need for me to now start delegating functions to the middle management, and so that they will take some workload off me and then make me to think more strategically and then be better focus for the future. What inspired me is because before I came in here, I was thinking it was going to be more of a theoretical approach, but what I observed is that the facilitators with their wealth of experience have kind of brought it, made it to be more practical, and I actually enjoyed it. In the area of the need to delegate, and I observed that, well, in the course of delegation, from ab initio, the fear of allowing people to make mistakes and get corrected has been there. But with this program, I've found that there's need for me to build more capacity at the middle level of my men so that they take some functions off me. Yeah, it's very important that I need to embrace digitalization, particularly in the area of artificial intelligence. Work with it and then see how we can use it to, grow the market share of the bank. And that's what I'm going to face when I get back.
My name is Aliu Galadima Saidu, Deputy Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service, in charge of training and doctrine. Everything about this program is very apt because my service is currently going through digital transformation. The new ideas that came on board as leaders that would drive in the digital age, some of the things that we underrated were highlighted for us to come up now for us to be successful in this digital drive. One of the major takeaways from this program is as a leader, we should always innovate, we should have empathy, we should have a solid and formidable team. We should try to delegate. So our emphasis as leaders should be more at strategic level rather than tactical. I can't wait to return back to Nigeria. I'm here with my colleague, and we started jotting down the key deliverable, which we are going to implement right away by the time we resume work next week.
My name is Mohammed Bello Aliyu, Registrar Chief Executive of Computer Professional Registration Council of Nigeria. So many things has inspired me because I have a new look at what leadership is all about now, and I think the operation and also aspect of that has to do with what I need to do and make decisions at the right time that involves what the future holds is something that really has inspired me. So many ideas. Of course, I can't thank the faculties enough in terms of what they have done. Particularly when I think about a model like the Canvas model, I feel like I'm just taking it away because I intend using it directly as it is when I could go back to where I am from. And we have Buka, so it's really interesting. When I get back, I think I'm going to really do things differently, and I'm differently in the sense that I'm going to make sure that whatever I'm going to do is what I'm paid for to do, because I realize that we are more into operational aspects, so I am going to deviate completely from the tactical side to the strategic side, so as to really achieve the mandates of my organization and also bring about the opportunities that I had here to the other team members, so that each department will do its optimal best.
My name is Ahmad Mohammed Barao, and I work as a bank examiner with the Central Bank of Nigeria. Honestly, I like so many things about the program because it has actually changed my perception prior to my comment on the program, I had some complete different views about strategic thinking as well as strategy. But having been in attendance through some of this session, I have a complete change of perception about what strategy entails. So it has been a great experience for me, which I've never been opportune now to go through before now. So the experience has been quite great. So many things inspired me really, especially when we talk about strategic thinking and strategic action. Well, we need to bring those two together for us to have a clear direction that will bring about some change. It's actually very, very, very inspiring. And what also inspired me was, in fact, I've come to understand that what we've been doing back in my organization, there's no clear demarcation between strategic action and tactical. So you find that there are those that are supposed to focus on strategic issues, but they are highly also involved in tactical. So with this type of training that I've undergone, I think it will be very easy to streamline the processes if given the opportunity to do so. From the way we traditionally do things manually to a process which is IT based and driven, and it has actually introduced some efficiency into the processes, and which delivers some tremendous value to our customers. So in essence, the IT has actually changed the way we do our business with our customers, the way we deliver services in a more efficient way, and by so doing, we enhance the value proposition to our customer. So IT has been a game changer really in the way we deliver our businesses to our respective customers. We will make some proposition based on what I have learned, because I have already mentioned before that I realized that top management in my organization, they get involved in tactical issues rather than focusing more on strategic issues. So I think that should be an area where we really need to have a rethink. Let's say those that are supposed to be strategic in their thinking, let them just focus on that strategic thinking while leaving the tactical issues to those that are supposed to do the tactical operation, that the senior and the lower management, while the higher management should focus on their strategic thinking and action.
My name is Kingsley Chukwemeka Egu. I'm a Nigerian working with Nigerian Customs Service, and Assistant Controller General of Customs, and a Commandant of Nigerian Customs Command and Staff College. The program is quite rich. The content is very insightful, impactful, and the content is in fact directed and tailored towards the contemporary leadership challenges we have in the country. All specific and directed towards leadership challenges in the country, which is strategic leadership in the digital age, because we are evolving and we have to be futuristic. Yes, the idea exactly is about putting my thoughts, combining my thoughts and actions to give direction for a positive change, actually. So because in Nigeria as well, mostly all of us, not only in Nigeria, but all over the world, we have a lot of people showing up policies, discussing about policies, a lot of policies, very good policies, but without putting them into action. But from what I learned here, if you have policies, if you can have the best policies in the world without putting into action, it amounts to nothing. But as a strategic leader, you try and thrive and strive into combining your thoughts with your actions and to give direction. And as a matter of fact, you allocate more time in thinking forward, in futuristic thinking, and coming out with policies and coming out with direction, because the world is not static, the world is dynamic. So you have to look at things, what if this thing happens tomorrow? What if this thing happens tomorrow? Because the world is not static, just like what you have even in telecommunication industries, where if you're not thinking where the next company will take over your job, If you're not taking away, the next company will take over your job. You may be doing well routine-wise, but you have to be very proactive in your thinking. So this, my key take-home here is to be very proactive in thinking. As a leader, you have to be very proactive in thinking. You have to move from the operational level to the strategic thinking and be the sense maker of your company, of your organization thinking. I'm going to do differently. It's simple. It may look simple, but it's simple. I have to sit back, think of the future of my organization. What my organization will be tomorrow. What may be the likely challenges of tomorrow. And one thing I learned here is taking risk. You can always take risk. You don't have to be afraid of failure, but you have to tell your risk, calculate your risk, because my organization is a public organization where you cannot, if you take so much risk, it may affect the whole country. But you have to tell your risk, but you must take the risk. And it must be dynamic in thinking and purely digitalize the economy, end-to-end automation, which we've started in Nigerian Customs Service. We've started end-to-end automation, but the implementation, that is the action type. Earlier, I was talking to you about combining the thought with action. So if we go back now, automation, end-to-end automation to achieve facilitation of trade, suppression of smuggling, and collection of revenue for the government, including collecting correct data, fiscal data for fiscal policies.
I am Adekumbi, Mrs. Adekumbi Kako, Central Bank from other financial institutions, departments of Central Bank of Nigeria. Entertaining. This is the first time TEXEM has really gotten it. They got it right in impacting leaders on how to think strategically in this digital age, and this program has been an eye-opener. It's an eye-opener. I'm going back as a change champion. What I used to think works, I've now found that is not the ideal. And I'm going back to Nigeria as a change champion to put things right, everything I've learned. What inspired me the most is the realization of knowing that I have not been strategic in my leadership. And that's what I've been doing. I have to devolve myself from operation and face strategy squarely and do the strategic thinking for my organization to get the best out of me. It has significantly transformed the way I think and the way I approach things. I now know what to look for and what to look out for to be a good leader. I'm going to put to price everything I've learned, and I'm sure I'm going away as an ambassador for TEXEM and to make sure that CBN gets better. Thank you.
Okay, my name's Ayuba Zaka Steve. I'm a staff of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. So for TEXEM, this is about my 5th executive capacity building program with TEXEM. And what I've consistently seen is the commitment to delivering high value in every area of capacity development that TEXEM has chosen. Between yesterday and today, I have again, like I've always done in other trainings, in other capacity development program of TEXEM, learned exceptionally new contexts in the area of leadership and strategy development. And like it's always also been between yesterday and today, the networking opportunities that I've been able to use are very extensive. So thank you to TEXEM. I would say keep up doing what you're doing because you're truly creating exceptional value for African organizations and government entities like us.
My name is Awodon Miriam Mojisola. I am the head of HR of Zenith Pensions Custodian Limited. The program, I found it to be very stimulating and very enlightening. The concepts that I've learned, I know and I believe that it's going to be very impactful in my work. I am returning to my organization better than I came in. And I thank TEXEM for this very exciting training. Yeah, I got to learn of TEXEM through our directors that have attended previous training. And what I saw here for the 2 days have really, really improved me in a long way. And I think TEXEM is doing very great in that area. I believe TEXEM is going to compare favorably with institutions like Harvard and I think INSEAD. Yeah.
My name is Aliyu Sama. I work for the NMDPRA, that's the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. Since between yesterday and today, honestly, I have unlocked a lot of value. The most important for me is the interface, connection with people from different disciplines, from across different industries other than oil and gas. I have, it has helped me to query my assumptions and to have fresh insights, especially from the combination of the people that, the participants. In the next 5 years, I see TEXEM becoming a world-class training institution.
My name is Adekalola Bernards, Head of Marketing Channels TV. I've been able to get to gain a lot of things since the program started yesterday. Like you know, I work in the media, and media in Nigeria, we are passing through a lot of challenges right now. We are actually in a turbulence period, and the insight I've been able to gather since yesterday will help me and my team to be able to skate through all the challenges we are in right now, and even the one that will still come in the future. The professor, Professor Tahil, the Nigerian professor, has really helped to break down most of these challenges and provide solutions to them in the Nigerian context, while the foreign professor had been able to give us the global challenges and practical example from UK, US, and the like. So it's a combination of the two from Nigeria and from the world. So we are really fortunate. We are really blessed to have both of them. And the takeaway here, I so much believe that it will help us in our own different organizations to help growth, to get the desired goal and objective of our different organizations. As for TEXEM, TEXEM is doing a fantastic job. This is my second program I will attend, or TEXEM organized program I will attend. And each time I come here, I really enjoy my stay. I really enjoy the turnout of things. The facilitators, they are top notch. They are on the spot. And I see them in the next 5 years, raising models that will take Africa. I don't want to limit it to Nigeria now. That will take Africa to the desired destination. Thank you.
My name is Peter Ezo. I'm the CIO of Zenith Pension Custodian Limited. I was nominated for this program by my Human Resources Department. Initially, I didn't think it is a program that will be so impactful when it comes to leadership, strategy, and management of a situation during a turbulent or crisis period. This program really has been quite impactful, and my strategy and vision for my organization is going to change, and a lot will happen, considering the fact that there's quite a lot of disruption going on currently, in the market all over the world. This program has actually given me a great insight that will make me refocus my strategy, re-strategize properly so that the organization where I work for that has also sent me for this training will benefit maximally from this training that I have attended. Because of what I have seen and what I have heard and how I have felt, I believe I want to participate more, you know, on TEXEM program, because I believe it's a program that everyone should actually look forward to and attend to. Thank you very much.
My name is Abel Nsa, and I'm the director of and head of the National Oil and Gas Excellence Center in the office of the Chief Executive of the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, NUPRC. And the TEXEM program, this is the second or the third one I've attended, has always been a remarkable program. It's really based on the fact that most of what we use are scenario situations. For instance, winning in turbulent times. You would agree with me that the oil and gas industry is going through turbulent times. The PIA provides a transition for the industry, and we've used close to 2 decades to develop the PIA 2021. However, as the law is coming out, the global industry tells you that fossil fuels is going out of relevance. And so this becomes a problem. Things like ESG parameters in developing fossil fuels have also taken center stage. So coming into TEXEM, one of the things that was taken today, for instance, was the ESG. How do you manage ESG in the light of geopolitical issues, governance trilemmas, and the rest of them? So Professor Rodriguez's evaluations of case studies have always been very, very practical. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I would always take TEXEM at number 10, especially based on what we've seen so far. And these are exact industry issues. Turbulent times, as you've seen, that Nigeria is also going through this transition turbulence. And so all this comes to bear that, yes, we're dealing with an organization that is relevant in today's world and bringing in all that knowledge to bear. And so it's quite a remarkable organization. So TEXEM will be good on my lips for recommendations going forward. Thank you.
My name is Chidima Justina Obiejesi. I work with Mega Electrics as Group Head Human Resource. It's been a wonderful 2-day training. This training on winning in turbulent times has been an eye-opener, talking about strategies, how to develop strategies, from strategies that failed and then identify those winning strategies. We also went through governance, dynamics of the board, and how to make an effective board. These 2 days, like I said, I've taken away tips that I will deploy in our organization in terms of strategy. Knowing that working in the media has gone through a lot of disruptions from terrestrial to digital, and it's the knowledge gleaned from this training comes very handy because they are going to help to re-strategize and considering innovations and technology, deploy new strategies that would work at this time. Having said that, looking at TEXEM, I think they are doing a great job. The knowledge, the faculty, quite top-notch. The ambience, the environment, good for learning. So thank you, TEXEM, and I see that we're going places and would be able to continue to deploy knowledge that would be quite useful to our environment and to the globe generally. Thank you.
My name is Dr. Edore Peter Edore. I work with Intercontinental Distillers Limited as the head of HR. I'm part of the executive management that helps to manage the business from the people's side of it. These 2 days with TEXEM on this program has been very wonderful. Essentially, we'll be looking at how to strategize during turbulence time. It's not just enough to put out strategy, but you must win at the end of the day. So this program has actually put into consideration all the changes that one participate in the business environment, and has equipped me thoroughly on how to deal with such changes, and then how to be quite flexible in planning, in strategy, and in execution, while paying so much attention to all the changes that are happening in the environment. TEXEM has been wonderful at it. This is not just my first program with TEXEM. This one is a bomb, actually. And if I'm to rate TEXEM out of 10, I would say 10 over 10.
My name is Yomi Otaigwe. I am a senior producer and presenter and also a supervisor in the editorial department at Channels Television. It's been an exciting time with the TEXEM training, particularly, talking about winning in turbulent times. It's been 2 days of intense, discussions and learning, and sometimes unlearning things that, you think were right before, and you now see that, you could do it in a better way. My take home from here is that, yes, we are in a turbulent time. We are looking at, digitization. We are looking at moving forward in global businesses, and you don't want to look local or do things local. And so as I'll be going back, I've learned that, you have to reinvent some things, you have to rejig some, you have to, drop some and take on new strategies to ensure that the company moves forward, the team is better equipped, and we are going to be doing, yes, Channels Television already has, Channels TV apps you can watch online, iOS, Android, but it's an evolving industry. We know that there's a lot of challenges with media now, particularly in broadcasting. You see that before you say or take on the news on the traditional media, it's already on social media, it's already on this new media, and so we are there. But of course, we are going to be re-strategizing. We are going to be doing things differently. We are going to look ahead and make sure that, whatever changes happen, we're always there. It's been an exciting time indeed. And if I have to rate this training, let me say 8 over 10. Thank you.
My name is Dauda Arro Adamu. I'm the head of human resources in the Nigerian Security Printing and Minting. This training was well planned, well organized by TEXEM. It was very educative, very informative, and very entertaining. Initially, I was skeptical, thinking that we won't get the best, but I'm really impressed with the overall performance of the organizers of this training, TEXEM, that is the executive mind. Whatever they do in the UK was exactly replicated here in Nigeria, and I'm really impressed and with the organizers of this training program, and I wish them the best of luck in future.
My name is Eze Nwachukwu. I work with the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NNDPRA. I work in the legal department. It's been quite a very wonderful experience. As a matter of fact, it's my second program with TEXEM, and this is quite an eye-opener. It explores a lot about leadership in changing times. It has helped me to be able to prepare for the future and eventualities and uncertainties that the future or tomorrow throws at us. So it touches quite a whole lot of contemporary topics, from artificial intelligence, from applying technology, about planning, strategy, and a whole lot of concepts and principles and topics that actually helps in organizational growth and progress. So I intend to apply this back when I get back to work and put it to good use and share the knowledge I've gotten here. TEXEM program been a wonderful program. I basically also I tell people I compare it to the Harvard program. It's of high standard. I've ran through a couple of Harvard programs, and this is quite almost the same kind of quality of training you get. I encourage everyone to
have a bite of it if there's an opportunity for them to. And it's an excellent program.
My names are Engineer Atilola Akinyemi Simeon, and I'm from NMDPRA, that is the Nigeria Midstream Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Agency Authority. And I cannot quantify what I've learned during this time. TEXEM has given me a lot of experiences and a lot of background. I will not forget this. I've attended before one of their courses and conference in Birmingham. This one has again opened my eyes and added to my knowledge. I'm using this one to say that I thank TEXEM, especially Dr. Alim and Prof. Tahir, and also Professor Rodria. What I've learned and that I will adapt as from today is that I was able to know that it's not enough for you to make a guidelines or a regulation, but also you must consider every stakeholders and all the communities, that is the consumers of whatever you are doing. And that means that you should not be stagnant or just be on one side on your goals and mission. So what I've learned is your mission, your vision of your organization must be dynamic, because the stakeholders are dynamic. The global wars are changing. They are dynamic, they are not static. So now I am going to be more dynamic and put to completion and also into consideration the whole society using ESG. Thank you so much.
Hello, firstly, would you like to tell us your name and your occupation, please?
Okay, my name is Dr. David Alapitas. I am in the public service. I have a political appointment as a Commissioner Tax Appeal Tribunal in the Nigerian Tax Appeal Tribunal. I have a lot of appointments in my state government as a member of the technical team in negotiating between the Nigerian Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria and my state government. I'm also the lead team in my state change management in Oracle. So basically these are the major things that I do, apart from these tax appeal tribunal matters that we do handle.
Sounds very important. So what did you learn at being on TEXEM?
The TEXEM, what I learned, so many things, but basically this course is on leadership. On leadership, one of the main things that I've learned is that, especially on negotiation, if you are coming to the negotiation table, if you have anything to negotiate, then you just have to plan. Before this time, most times we go into negotiations without planning, without knowing what we are going to negotiate, without looking at the facts, without studying the matters. But in TEXEM here, we have been told, we have been instructed that for you to go into a negotiation, you have to look at the matter, study the matter, go through the matter, plan and prepare properly for the matter so that you get details of everything you want to negotiate. If you don't know what you want to negotiate, you cannot even negotiate. So you have to be grounded on the matter you are negotiating. So planning is key when it comes to in terms of negotiation. I think that's one fundamental thing I've learned. The other thing I've also learned that in leadership, you must, have the values of an all-inclusive leadership. In leadership, you have to have the values of all-inclusive by trying to carry your followers along. Leadership is not autocratic. Leadership is dynamic. Leadership has to do with the people. When the people you are leading are not following up, are not interested, or you cannot carry all of them along, then your leadership is just, you are not leading, but you are just commanding.
And what are you going to do differently back at home now you've been on TEXEM?
Yes, like I've said before, there are a few things I'm going to do differently, especially when it comes to leadership. I'll change probably my leadership style by becoming more engaging.
and more knowing the feelings and the values of the people. And sometimes we have also learned about the cultural aspect of it, because because in Nigeria we have diversity of cultures. I need to know the background, the culture the person is coming from, so that I can, know how to manage those situations. The other thing is, just like I've said, when it comes to negotiation, because I've been involved in a lot of negotiation, there was one particular negotiation that we actually failed because we didn't prepare well. So I think that's one of the key things I'm taking home. When it comes to negotiation, it's more or less like the most important part of the negotiation is planning for the negotiation, not the negotiation on itself. It's planning for the negotiation. So I think what I'm taking home, if I am involved in negotiations, I have to plan, I have to study, I have to read, I have to do a lot of things, I have to ask questions, I have to communicate, know a lot of things before I go into the negotiation table.
Okay, lovely. And is there anything else you'd like to say about TEXEM?
Like I've said, you are fantastic people. That's the only thing I want to say. Yes, wonderful people. Thank you for everything you have done for us. Thank you for the food. It's interesting. Thank you for taking care of us, the shopping and all the rest.
And your trip to Arsenal, did you enjoy that?
Oh, that was wonderful. That was fantastic. That is the high point of this event. To me, I don't know of others. Because to tell you the truth, before coming to London, I decided that whatever it's going to take, I must get to the Emirates Stadium before leaving London. But I came and it was part of the program, so I enjoyed everything. I went to the dressing room. In fact, that is the height of it. I went to the dressing room. I saw all my players, especially Saka's shirt and Martinelli's shirt. I snapped there, and then I snapped with as a winger's statue, which is very, very significant.
Firstly, would you like to introduce yourself and what occupation you have?
Okay, I'm Otumba Sonya Ogunkwade, that's my name. I'm a legal practitioner by profession, and I had served as a presidential assistant under two governments, under the administration of under the administration of Obasanjo, President Obasanjo, and also Yar'Adua. That's between 2006 and 2011. Presently, I still maintain my law firm. I'm a commissioner in the Tax Appeal Tribunal in Nigeria.
Wow. And part of TEXEM, what have you learned the most?
I've learned a lot with the package of the courses, of the subjects matter, which were discussed, were presented. A lot of, I now become more focused in leadership, the style, presentation, orientation, and also even mental capability. How to, I've learned all this within the course of the training or the program.
Brilliant. And what have you enjoyed the most?
I've enjoyed the orderliness of the organizers. I've enjoyed the presentations of the consultants. I've enjoyed the practicability of the consultants. They bring in life examples in all their presentation. And with that one, the participants were able to be carried along. Right. It's not theoretical, you can see they also practicalize by bringing life, even using themselves as examples. So that really sends the message deep into our hearts. And that's wonderful.
That's nice to hear. And going back to your work, what would you do differently now being on TEXEM?
One, my ability to dispense justice will be further heightened. Understanding of human beings will be further heightened. Mental capability will be further heightened, and also my focus in the job.
Brilliant.
I've learned all this in the course of the training, the program.
And would you say anything else about TEXEM?
It's a wonderful organization, I must confess, and they are very organized. Their staff are really warm. They are very committed, and you can see the way they do their job is with every enthusiasm, every member of the team. That I noticed that one. There's no dull moment with any member of the team. So you can see the passion which they carry along in doing their job, and that's reflected in the way they related to all participants.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Firstly, would you like to tell us your name and your occupation, please?
My name is Ajoko Vitalis Friday I'm a legal practitioner from Nigeria.
Lovely. And what have you learned on being the course on TEXEM?
I've learned a lot, including negotiation skills, leadership skill, never giving up, and a whole lot of things. I've learned so much. Yes.
Thank you. And what have you enjoyed the most on TEXEM?
What I've enjoyed the most is coming from areas where we hitherto didn't pay attention to. Self-confidence, never giving up, and the way and manner the message is passed in a very simple and polite way, it sticks in the head, and it's not going to leave it out easily. It's something that will stick, and it all has to do with our everyday practice, which we didn't pay attention to, but it's all about our lives. The teachings revolve around our lives every day to the activity.
What would you do differently now, being back at home, now that you've learnt on TEXEM?
A lot, quite a lot, ranging from how we, in the legal practitioner relationship with persons and groups, including in terms of drafting, passing messages, negotiation skills, and in adjudicating over matters. A whole lot of things will need to be done differently, because before this time we didn't think it was really necessary. But having been tutored or gathered this from TEXEM, we think it's real life practical issues, and I'm going to put them into practice, and it will enhance my performance.
Brilliant, thank you. And is there anything else you'd like to say about TEXEM?
Well, I would just want to say to them, keep doing the good work, don't get tired.
Hi, would you like to introduce yourself, please, and your occupation?
My name is Hilary Ongwe. I am the Secretary and the Head of Administration, Tax Appeal Tribunal Southwest Zone, Ibadan, Nigeria.
Lovely. And what have you liked being on the course of TEXEM?
The course has been very wonderful, very insightful. I can tell you I've really enjoyed it. It has exposed and the nuances of organizational leadership and management. And after this course now, I'm really going to take a new approach on how I manage the affairs of the Southwest Zone of the Tax Appeal Tribunal Secretariat. I'm going to be friendlier with my staff. I'm going to do more to carry them along and to improve on most of the aspects of management, proactiveness, and all that.
Lovely. And what have you enjoyed the most being on TEXEM?
TEXEM is a very great organization. The way it is run in terms of in terms of punctuality, I've seen that everything is well planned and on time. That's one of the greatest takeaways. And the faculties, the people they have brought, the resource persons, have been very wonderful. They appear to understand what we need, and they give information on that. So it's been very interesting. I know that certainly not just myself, but every other colleague on this training will have a great change, a better way of doing things after this.
So on that note, what are you going to do differently when you're back at home in your workforce after you've been on TEXEM course?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm going to be more given to planning. I'm going to be more deliberate about the things we want to achieve at any point in time. And generally, I'm going to be friendlier with my staff, knowing that they're actually the people doing it. I'm only the one taking the credit as the zonal head. So I'm going to be friendlier with my staff.
That's very nice. And is there anything else you'd like to say about TEXEM?
Well, I just want to say that they have to keep up the good works they are doing. Of course, we cannot say that TEXEM has come to a level of perfection. So I want them to continue improving, so as to serve humanity, serve institutions across the world, because I can understand that the clientele of TEXEM cuts across the entire globe. So I want them to keep up the good works, and I also wish them well.
Thank you very much for your feedback and your kind words.
My name is Prince Razak Adekunle Quadri. commissioner at the Tax Appeal Tribunal, Nigeria, and the past president, Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria.
Lovely, thank you. And what have you liked being on the TEXEM course?
I think it's been quite great. We've been, the theme has been on leadership, and we have learned quite a lot. And I'm sure that this has impacted much on the participants.
Lovely. What have you enjoyed the most being on TEXEM?
Yeah, in terms of the facilitators, they have been quite wonderful. I think they brought the real men that have had the practice to really lecture us. Then outside that, we are people that have actually gone through a lot of things within our country. So the welfare provided by TEXEM has been quite wonderful. Yeah.
Thank you. And what were you going to do differently now you go back home after you've been on TEXEM?
Wonderful. I think we are going to put into use the things that we have learned in this place, and it's going to impact on the system. Generally, we have learned how to do things differently. We have learned how that change cannot be ruled out at any point in time. So we are going to do things differently, and very well, we are going to have many things to write up about.
Hi, firstly, would you like to tell us your name and your occupation, please?
Okay, my name is Bolanle Hajara Hauniyogi. I'm the Coordinating Secretary, Tax Appeal Tribunal, Nigeria.
Lovely, thank you. And what have you liked being on the course of TEXEM?
It has been an insightful experience, thought-provoking. I've learned new ways of doing things, especially in leadership, in ADR, and reaching an agreement in negotiation.
Lovely, thank you. And what have you enjoyed the most being on TEXEM?
What I enjoyed the most is the interactive aspect of it.
And what are you going to do differently when you go back home to Nigeria after being on TEXEM?
Okay, I'm going to deploy some of the strategies learned from the presentations by Professor Griffiths, the MP, and some other presenters, facilitators.
Thank you. Firstly, would you like to tell us your name and your occupation, please?
I'm Samira Abakar Gwandu, Mrs. I'm a legal practitioner and I work with the Tax Appeal Tribunal, Nigeria.
Lovely, thank you. And what have you liked being on the course of TEXEM?
Basically the courses, the way they're designed, I think the facilitators are engaging, they're knowledgeable, they know what they're doing, and they make it fun and entertaining. So yeah,
you like it?
Yeah.
And what have you enjoyed the most being on TEXEM?
I've learned a lot. I'm a better person for attending the course. I believe I'll be able to now take that back, and because the people, the networking, knowing a lot more about leadership skills.
Brilliant. And what are you going to do differently when you go back home now being on TEXEM?
To apply what I've learned is a refresher course on leadership, to now engage other stakeholders, my team, people around, and even my bosses. I'll try and share what I've learned with them on how to be better leaders.
Thank you. And is there anything else you'd like to say about TEXEM?
Yeah, I think, I believe TEXEM has a way of making people, feel comfortable, accommodating. They make it fun and interesting, lively. The people we've met, they're quite warm and welcoming. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Hello, and can you just please tell us your name and your occupation, please?
My name is Professor Kabir Issa Ndago. I'm a professor of accounting at Bayero University, Kano, Nigeria.
Lovely. And what have you liked being on the course of TEXEM?
Yeah, the course here we are attending is designed to improve our performance in the course of adjudicating tax cases between taxpayers and tax administrators. And this is what will stabilize the tax system in Nigeria. And we have gone far in doing that, but this training will definitely give us more power in ensuring effective adjudication of tax cases in that country.
Lovely, thank you. And what have you enjoyed the most being on TEXEM?
Yeah, TEXEM is a very serious consultancy organization. I'm rating them as such because of the caliber of resource persons that have been mobilized to interact with us to discuss all the issues that are needed in building our leadership capacity further, in ensuring that the Tax Appeal Tribunal become the best adjudicator of taxes in Africa and even globally. So I am very, very much impressed with TEXEM, and I recommend TEXEM to other institutions that are serious about ensuring effective leadership and management.
Thank you. And what would you do differently back at home in work now that you've been on TEXEM?
So TEXEM, I cannot suggest any other name, but then to encourage them to continue to do very well, to continue to maintain their standard of providing their client with effective training using high-level resource person and providing all necessary facilities that we have seen today in this program for all the 5 days that we are interacting with them. So I encourage TEXEM to continue to do well by ensuring that they maintain quality. So only quality people should be used, only quality input should be accepted, only quality output should be given to its client coming from different parts of the world.
Thank you very much. And is there anything else you'd like to say about TEXEM?
Yeah, I think TEXEM could be seen as a world leader in consultancy, particularly in the area of management and leadership training. And I want them to continue to do well so that in the event of assessment that will be conducted among consultants in that area, TEXEM could be rated as number 1.
Hello, and would you like to tell us your name and your occupation, please?
Yes, I'm Julius Olatunde Otusanya. I'm a member of a Tax Appeal Tribunal, originally an academic at the University of Lagos, Nigeria.
Thank you very much. What did you like being on the program TEXEM?
Well, it's a training session we had with TEXEM. The training session has been very, very stimulating. We were able to gather a lot of, leadership and strategic information that will be very useful as a leader, in our respective organizations. And then the faculty member that, deliver the sessions are very, very active, energetic, and the lecture sessions are very stimulating and engaging.
Thank you. And what did you enjoy the most being on the program TEXEM?
Well, like I said earlier, the sessions are very stimulating. It's very engaging. There are value added in terms of the content, and of course, like I said, the faculty member engage, deliver to expectations. There are value added in terms of, new knowledge, derived, which will be very, very helpful to participants in our respective organizations and in our individual future commitments.
Thank you. And what will you do differently back at home in Nigeria when you go back to work after being on the course of TEXEM?
To my mind, I think I've now been empowered with a lot of leadership and strategic values, which of course putting them to use will be very, very nice in driving my organizations or my unit in my universities, and particularly as a member of a South-South zone of Tax Appeal Tribunal, in ensuring that we deliver our judgment, with the required dedication, transparency and accountability, and also to ensure that justice is adhered to in the course of our function as member of a Tax Appeal Tribunal.
Thank you. And is there anything else you'd like to say about TEXEM?
Well, TEXEM is a good platform for advancing leadership training, and I would recommend TEXEM for organizations or institutions that are, desirous for improving their workforce, in leadership and strategic policy making.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
The seminar is highly interactive, and considering the high profile of participants, it gives us a very wide insight. The knowledge we have acquired within this short period will go a lifetime, not only in helping the individuals, but also in helping the countries, the different countries from where we come from.
The quality of the arrangement is fantastic. We have been really very well served. So thank you very much. I look forward to coming again and again, and also recommend it to others.
I think a lot of attention is being received on corporate governance issues at this time, and correctly so. And I've been pleased to speak to the participants and share with them my little knowledge on this point. And I hope I'll have the opportunity to come again to Oxford and speak.
Has really been tremendous as far as I am concerned. It's also been a pleasure coming to one of the famous universities in the world to run a program of this nature.
I'm glad that I've met a lot of people here. We have exchanged ideas. We are taking these ideas back home, and it's going to have a lot of impact on our organization. We're going to share it, implement it, make our country a better place.
I found the level of interaction extremely interesting, and I also found the audience very engaged in what I had to say, clearly showing an understanding for the topic of high-level finance, of risk, and of issues related to governance.
And I will recommend my peers, my colleagues, to attend, because the tool, the knowledge, the interaction, the experience that we've gotten out of the Oxford environment is quite enormous. So I thank you.
I would like to use this medium to express my appreciation to the organizers of this conference, and I wish them best of luck in their endeavors.
And I feel that at the end of this, I have learned some things and have some things to think about, as well as I hope the participants feeling that it was extremely worthwhile for them, and they have gone back to their careers, back to their home countries with some thoughts and ideas which will influence the way they act, not just tomorrow, next week, but also for the future years.
I have thoroughly enjoyed the time that I have spent here at the Smith School of Enterprise and Environment at Oxford University in this joint program with TEXEM. And I recommend it very much to you because I think that it will give a sense, a broad scope of the challenges of governance and development on the continent of Africa.
So I found this very insightful. It's been very interactive. It's been an absolutely enlightening experience, and I'm just grateful that had this privilege. Thank you, TEXEM. Thank you, Smith School of Enterprise.
The program is quite okay. The venue is okay. The resource person is an experienced gentleman, and you have to understand that the program is interactive. So we are all we are both a participant and resource person in our own rights. It is quite apt, quite related to what we are doing as a board. So I think it is quite refreshing and interesting. Definitely, I would love to always be in such kind of fora. It's a workshop, it's interesting, and the resource person is an experienced person, and the young man, Dr. Abubakar, is equally good, one of the hope rising intellectuals. So I appreciate all of them.
Well, about this program, it's fantastic. Number one, I've been on the board of my company, and at least it has opened my eyes to issues that have to do with responsibilities of directors and what they are expected to do. Well, they have done a good job. I've been attending TEXEM program in the last 10 years or so. I know when they were young minds, and I think now they have grown up and the organization is quite good. So I would say it is excellent.
For me, it's my first time of meeting the company, and from the introduction of the CEO, I think it's a very wonderful company. It's a very promising company, and all I can say is to wish them best of luck. They have a long way to go, and I think with the quality of the leadership, especially the CEO, and the quality of facilitators the company is using for their trainings, there will be a company to beat in the future.
Well, I'm impressed with them. It's a young, innovative group that are doing very well, and I can see a great future ahead for them. So I'm really impressed with what they are doing.
Medium, I'm quite happy I attend this course, and because it helps deepen my knowledge about good corporate governance and how to impact on my organization. And I'll recommend TEXEM to many of my friends to attend this course.
Learning, training is a life process, so to choose the right facilitator is very a significant point for us, for the executive I mean, and TEXEM, it seems that it has the, let's say, the connections and the right structure to provide us the right product. Thank you so much.
Well, this is the first time I'm attending a TEXEM program, and in fact I found it very incisive, very useful, very educative. In fact, I've realized that I had missed a lot by not attending earlier programs. You know when you are selling a good product, if your clients comes back repeatedly. And to me, from what I have seen today, what I've imbibed, for sure I will still come back for future programs of TEXEM. And my company in particular, I'm the first person from my company to attend TEXEM program, and I can say that really is an avenue for human capital development that my company should not miss out on. So on the overall, I will say that it has been a worthwhile effort.
My name is Sunday Ashade. I'm the Group Supply Chain Director for AG Leventis Nigeria PLC. My perspective about the program, I think it has been very interactive, and I think it's also timely considering the current economic recession and the challenges that organizations are facing presently. I think the course and the program is timely. And one thing I also like about the program is that it is very interactive. We are having executives bringing their experiences into the case studies, and then we looking at how we could take benefit from that and apply into our organization. And then in terms of interaction, I think it's opportunity of bringing people, executives from different organizations together to be able to look at ways in which we could be able to manage the current economic recession, especially managing people, because people is our major asset. And for me, I think the program has been able to fulfill the aspiration and what objective I personally set out to be able to gain from the program. So overall, I think the program is worth it.
This course has been very insightful. I mean, we had a session on communications that made us start looking at the different aspects from which we can communicate, back to the organization as leaders within the organization, and also taking into perspective, different types of environment, different styles of communication. So I found it indeed very valuable.
Okay, I think it's, from my own perspective, it's highly enlightening. When you look at the ideas and the concepts that we have actually been taken through, it gives you a very good step to what you can actually apply, especially in these difficult times in Nigeria. So when you now look at the quality of the faculty and also the level of the participants, the kind of knowledge that you obtain from the ideas and the concept that comes out of the program is actually very good, and I look forward to applying those concepts to my work and be able to be a better person in my career. Yes, look, this is not the first time. Okay, this is my first time of attending a TEXEM program, but I've always sent my our colleagues to this program, and they've always come back with a very good quality response in terms of what they've been able to get out of the program. So there's still so many programs that I believe my company can actually, and my colleagues too, can actually also benefit from, and I look forward to sending, actually nominating people to attend these programs in the future.
And talking about my perspective of the training, I think it's something that every executive should want to be a part of. The topic is particularly inciting, and it's been a great session. The prof from MIT has been very upfront in dissecting communication strategies that every leader in an organization needs to be aware of. Communication, they say, sharing of meaning, and so if you're not able to share meaning with your subordinates, or the subordinates are unable to share meaning with you at the top, then there's bound to be a breakdown of structures and breakdown of work eventually. So I've personally been refreshed by the various strategies, methods by which one can communicate better within the organization and without as well.
I've really gained a lot from this program, especially as it relates to leadership. Having come in from the private sector into a public sector organization, I've learned quite a lot of tips that will make me turn around my process, my people, and to make me a better leader.
I would like to use this medium to express my appreciation to the organizers of this conference, and I wish them best of luck in their endeavors.
I feel that at the end of this, I have learned some things and have some things to think about, as well as I hope the participants feeling that it was extremely worthwhile for them.
The knowledge we have acquired within this short period will go a lifetime, not only in helping the individuals, but also in helping the countries.
Definitely we come back again and again and again. I want to recommend to all organizations in Nigeria to send as many people as possible to attend this course.
In fact, TEXEM and Manchester Business School have delivered beyond my expectation. I came here with a clear-cut mindset what I expected, At the end of the day, they've delivered the lecture in such a manner that a lot of things that were hitherto unknown have been brought to the fore.
I have thoroughly enjoyed the time that I have spent here at the Smith School of Enterprise and Environment at Oxford University.
It's been an absolutely enlightening experience, and I'm just grateful that had this privilege.
Now this place is a wonderful place. I have increased in knowledge, in exposure, in experience, and I hope, God willing, to put all this to use when I get back to my country in a few days' time.
I've been pleased to speak to the participants and share with them my little knowledge on this point, and I hope I'll have the opportunity to come again to Oxford and speak.
It's a privilege and a joy to welcome international clients from around the world to Manchester and to our other international centres. And we always find that we learn as much as we impart when we run these kinds of programmes.
That's really been tremendous as far as I am concerned. It's also been a pleasure coming to one of the famous universities in the world to run a program of this nature.
What we learned for the last, for yesterday and today and tomorrow, of course, will be beneficial to us when we go back home, because it's a leadership role, and all of us are leaders in our own little way back home in our various organizations and companies.
What I found particularly interesting about the session this morning was the conversations we had at a very practical level, where we were discussing live issues that the delegates had and how we could help them overcome it, both from a theoretical point of view, but within the class itself. There was a number of suggestions in a very practical way on some of the issues that many of the delegates had.
This training has set me thinking, how do we address or run the business even in a turbulent economy that our country currently faces?
I work for Wando. The program was really insightful. A lot of knowledge was shared here. I came with a lot of expectations, and I believe that it met all my expectations. Now the way it is, I'm fired up. Plan to make an impact based on the learnings from this place.
Well, this is I would say our first experience, because I got 3 members of our company that attended this program, and I've said it was package well done. I'm happy that TEXEM could come over from UK to Nigeria. We look forward. I've had a good chat with the MD, and programs that can be tailor-made to our company's desires and needs as well will be highly welcome.
TEXEM is a first-class social enterprise organisation which has very strong Nigerian links, which pulls together academics, business specialists and people with Nigerian experience to create much stronger links between the United Kingdom and Nigeria, both in an academic sense but also in the investment and trade community.
This is the first program I've attended, and from what I have gained, I assure you I'm coming back.
It's a different experience altogether. We've had an MBA and MSc in the universities, especially the lecture presented by Professor Rodia has made our knowledge in MBA and master's degree as if it's just a common entrance. This is just a full exposure. So it's a different thing altogether. This is quite expansive, and we've been able to learn a lot we can take back to the boardroom.
I'm happy to be here, honestly. So, it was really worth the wait. Yesterday I was in the airport for a very long time, trying to catch a flight. But then, of course, today, attending this program, honestly, it's an eye-opener, it's an experience for me. Although I've been to their programs before, but And I wasn't expecting anything less anyway. And for people who were coming here for the first time, even those I met yesterday, I told them, I said, don't miss this program because it is worthwhile. Yes. Thank you.
Really exciting, challenging, and there were many bright and intelligent questions asked. And so I really enjoyed it. With regard to what TEXEM is doing here, I hope I will join his events all the time.
Actually, I've attended so many trainings locally and internationally, and I think TEXEM will rank high among the courses I've attended. The interactive session and the way they presented the topics, and the focus on being better, repositioning, and defining oneself, because life is an evolution. Life is an evolution. Wherever you are today, you have to redefine it, reassess, and then competitively position yourself for tomorrow. And I think TEXEM, I'll rank them high among the courses I've attended.
Before now, I've heard about them, but I never had an experience until yesterday. So my expectations were actually exceeded. I think it will be #1 brand. When you talk about training, I think the first thing that comes to everybody's mind in the world will be TEXEM. Yeah.
TEXEM has been very impactful so far. I've learned a lot concerning industry analysis, trying to understand how to properly position ourselves as market leaders. There are a couple of things that we were already doing from the onset, and this just helps us to fully understand that we're actually in line with industry standards, and also broaden our horizon in terms of the kind of practices that we should also embed, apart from just looking within our community and our organization.
This is not the first time I've attended a training by TEXEM. Neither is it the first time I've attended a class facilitated by Professor Pawan Budwa. The training currently running is teaching us how to make changes and then to exist in volatile situations. So there's a real impact. Businesses are now going through challenges because of the volatile times we're in. The training gives us strategies as to how we can overcome these challenges, and for me, I've learned a lot, and I'll go back home to my organization and ensure that we make changes, the little changes that will keep us in business and keep us performing and achieving the main goal of the business at hand.
Well, this is my first TEXEM program, but it's been very enlightening. I must commend them because the topics taught are practical and relatable, and it's easy for you to relate with them and be prepared to implement them, when you get out of here and back to the organization where you work. So it's highly recommended for managers and senior officers to be at such a program. It's very educative, it's eye-opening, and it opens you up to several possibilities that you didn't think were existing.
Definitely, I would recommend a program like this to my staff, especially those from chief officers and above. And also, it is also very important for even top management group of my company, because, they say a mind that is stretched by an idea can never return to its original shape. So, my mind is already stretched because I have other ideas I need to share with my group. But it is good for people to even attend the training, because when you hear, you will imbibe more than, when you witness and become participant, you have to imbibe more than those who are just hearing. So apart from me sharing my idea, it's good for people to participate in this kind of training. And I think the time is very much insufficient for this kind of training. 2 days is very much inadequate. It can be a week, actually 5-day training. That's when all the topics will be really digested very well and better understood.
TEXEM training has been quite an eye-opener for me because one has been used to quite a lot of trainings, both local and international, and what one comes away with is a perspective that is either local or international. But one thing TEXEM has been able to do is that it has been able to blend the two, so that you walk away with both something you can use locally, and if then you need to use it internationally, you can also do that. The faculty is great. The program itself is extremely interactive, and it allows you the benefits of being able to listen to the perspectives from other people, to understand how they feel about the many themes and sub-themes that come up during the discussions. One would recommend this definitely to others. TEXEM is a unique brand, and therefore one would recommend this. I'm sure this is not my first time of attending the TEXEM training, and I'm sure there are others who are here who are repeaters, and that's because the quality is top-notch.
My name is Azuka Azinge. Quite a lot, actually. It's really a very rich course. For me, part of what I've learned, even as a manager, to manage people better. And then on the issue of conflicts and negotiation, I think that's also been very important, that we know how to negotiate with various levels of people and sectors as well, even family issues. Yeah, one of the things I'll be taking away was what I got from the practical aspect of the negotiation skills we learned yesterday, which would make me come out more from my office, sit around with staff, get to discuss and talk with them more. That is, getting more practically involved in the work that they do, so that way they're also more inspired to do more. That is, bringing myself closer to their level, so that I could get to know more of the problems that they have, and then maybe even in the course of discussion find out solutions on how to deal with some of the challenges we have. Okay, one of the things I'll be taking away from this training is the fact that negotiation involves maintaining or sustaining relationships, not about the win-lose, but win-win. That when you are negotiating with people, you consider their own interest as well as yours, so that you think about sustaining your relationships in future. I think for me that's a very good one. Thank you.
Badamasi Yao is my name. I'm the Director of Procurement Corporate Affairs Commission, Abuja, Nigeria. I believe this course I attended today is one of the best courses I've ever attended, and I've learned a lot, particularly the strategies on negotiation. This has to do with my job status now, the Director of Procurement. I'm engaged with so many negotiation processes, and I believe what I've learned today, what I've learned this period, will go a long way in helping me how to carry out negotiation processes and procurement matters as I go back to Nigeria. I thank you very much. And I will suggest that this course should be extended to almost all executive officers, not only in Nigeria and Africa, so that we will have enough avenue to negotiate, to learn how to negotiate, particularly when there is a dispute matters, so that we will reduce a lot of this crisis that we have this in this world today. So thank you very much.
Yeah, my name is Jide Ajani. I'm editor Sunday Vanguard in Lagos, Nigeria. I've learned quite a lot about how to negotiate effectively and how to influence people while not being overbearing. So that at the end of the negotiation process, you have a deal that is mutually beneficial and that is also sustainable. In terms of the faculties, they've been quite practical, and they've actually made us engage in some exercises that have also shown that no matter what you think you knew before, there are always ways of improving your skills and knowledge. And that played out almost every day when we had the practical sessions. We just had one now, and it was quite competitive and tough. We thought we had gotten something very good, but the professor had to explain to us that yes, you may have won the battle, but the war may still last for much longer than you can imagine. Yeah, the first one I participated in was the one in Oxford, and that was about sustainability and the environment. The one at Aston Business School in Birmingham was about managing human resources. This one is about negotiating and influencing. And I'll be very honest, this one, because of the practical nature of the sessions, it's much more engaging, while not discounting the fact that the other ones packed so much information and knowledge that was imparted in each participant. But overall, I would say what TEXEM is doing is quite well, it's quite good, and would go a long way to change the narrative of my country, Nigeria, and to make it a better place for everyone. Yeah, sure. For instance, in the one about managing human resources, when we were at Aston, part of what we were taught there was more like trying to refine what I'd always been doing in terms of engaging your staff effectively. I'd done a bit of that, and even in class, I was able to use some of my own practical experience as strategy sessions and cases. In this area of negotiation and influencing, I think I've learned quite a lot more regarding how to manage people, how to effectively engage them, and how to also negotiate in a mutually beneficial manner such that whatever deal you come out with will be sustainable in the long term.
Shaka Momodu, I'm the Saturday editor of This Day newspaper back in Nigeria. Well, amazing, exciting, interesting, and highly informative and enlightening. Some of the things we thought we knew, we have a totally different perspective to them now. The negotiating skills, collaborating, competitive nature of, all forms of negotiation. We've learned a lot from this program, and it's quite revealing how things we normally take for granted, how they play on our everyday interactions with neighbors, friends, colleagues. It's been properly structured for us now to situate each aspect in context. So it's been quite revealing. I'm very educating.
And how are you going to implement what you've learned?
Oh, fantastic! We started in the last negotiation. The test we did. It was obvious that we had started to absorb some of the things we were taught, because we made full disclosure to the other party. They didn't reciprocate the gesture, and then they won. And then we looked weak. We looked weak in the process. But it was part of what we were taught. You understand that when you go into a negotiation, you go open your mind, and you provide as much information as possible. You go prepared, but things can quickly change when you give the other side information, and they hold their own information to their chest. So they got us because they didn't play by what we learned. So in the process, they won the battle, but I don't know how long they can win the war. So it's a learning curve, quite interesting, very revealing. You understand? We have been able to situate ourselves in the different aspects of negotiation, and the skills we have you know, in those aspects. And it's in a very well-structured manner. We now know where we stand, where we need to improve on, and how we need to approach a negotiation, no matter what. And negotiation is all about win-win. It's always the best rather than a win-lose one. Yeah, so it's been a very wonderful learning process, and we're thankful for it. Thank you very much.
My name is Bosede Florence Ikanoba. I work for Corporate Affairs Commission in Nigeria. I'm in charge of administration. I'm the head of that department as the director. First, I want to express my appreciation to my CEO, who consider it a great deal to have nominated me and my colleagues to attend this program. I want to say that it's really an eye-opener. There are certain things you assume that you know, not until the facts confront you. First, the very first 2 days, the lectures we had, particularly on power and influence, I realized that by the nature of the work I do, I have a lot of influence over my staff because they are doing pretty well. They are doing a good job. And I realized that there are so many ways in which I could influence them better to bring out the best in them, I mean. And also the subsequent lectures we had on negotiation. Also, it affects the kind of work I do. I find myself doing a lot of negotiation, I realized that I messed up with what I saw today. So I'm going better, going to be a better person at my work. I've learned quite some skills which I think will enhance my ability to deliver and negotiate well. And for the course facilitators, I think they've been wonderful. They've done a good job. They've added value to us. And their style of presentation was quite simple, easy to follow. We're able to flow very well with them. And I'm so grateful to God that I had this opportunity. I don't know if my colleagues come back and they are sharing their experiences, I would have been lost out. But I think I have a lot too to share with my colleagues back home when I get back to Nigeria. So I thank the organizers for this wonderful opportunity. I look forward to coming back again,
Who should attend these sorts of
Okay,
programs?
there are some of my other colleagues, who are there. We do almost similar jobs, similar, tasks, and I think they will also benefit from it.
My name is Kola Garuba. I'm the Executive Director of Sales and Marketing Business Day, Media Limited. Coming here was really, for me, a great value. I came here with an open mind and had to learn things concerning negotiations and how to ensure that you'll be able to create abilities for win-win situations with your team and the people and opponent that you're negotiating with. And for me, that has been a big value for me. And looking at most of the deals that I've entered in the past, we've all come out losing. And I've come here to realize that you could always let your partner know what are the important information that you have, and they can help you get values for your organizations and for yourself. So for me, it's been really a very good 1 week spent here at Helen Business Schools in Texas. Skill negotiations program. I think that I will recommend it for top management people, for government officials, because it's a value that they will have and can help them be better managers and be leaders of people, and especially where it has to do with providing agreements that won't last and provide more feedback relationship in dealing with people. It's been a great deal, really, and for me, I'm very grateful that I have the opportunity to be here. It's been well all through, and the faculty has been rich, and the various people that have taken all the various courses have been provided with expertise that we required for the program that we had, and we recommend it any day for anybody. Yeah, this is my first really, and Lynn has been a great guide too. The dedications, the complete willingness to ensure the people are satisfied cannot be taken away from what he did in the matchup with Matty, also from the inside. And he had provided absolutely windows and opportunities for people to learn. There were really no dull moments throughout the program.
Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I am Marty Janse van Rensburg. I am the Program Director for Henley on this Negotiation and Influencing Program for TEXEM. And I think in a world that is increasingly globalized, even though a lot of us work in specific areas and have to look at specific cultures, we negotiate and we try to influence people every day. So running this program here with a specific group covers that. It's a localized group because they all come from the same country, but they're doing this in another country. And so there's exposure to how things are done in the UK and Europe, but also within an African context. And it's one of the reasons why I do that. I'm passionate about people and them growing and learning, and the passion of this group of people blew my mind. I thought it was absolutely wonderful to see how they interacted and engaged with the material. I hope that what they will take away, and I think they will based on what they've said, is that negotiation is not a competition, that it is about collaborating and about building relationships, and what in our lives are not about building relationships. I think the cost of bringing people here is quite a lot. So I would have considered, or if I could change the program, I would look at making it a little bit longer, maybe running it over 4 or 5 days, and then adding to the negotiating and influencing some of the things that I've heard come up, like more time on listening, more time on understanding oneself and how personality affects decision making and how the assumptions we make affect decision making. And those things were touched on, but I think it might have been useful to have spent time specifically on those more peripheral topics.
I'm Roger Delves, and it's been my pleasure today to work with a group of people exploring negotiation skills. And the point of what we've been doing today has been to look at moving away from a kind of a confrontational win-lose approach to negotiation towards a more collaborative win-win approach. So we've been working on keeping our assertive levels high, but building up our levels of cooperation. And we've been exploring the impact of this by doing some experiential exercises, doing a mock actual negotiation, and by looking at how this approach can improve the quality of our negotiations and lead us to more sustainable negotiated end results. It's been a good day, it's been a valuable day. As always, I've learned as much as the participants have, but together we've explored something that I think is a valuable contribution to negotiation skills. I think I'm hoping that people will go away and think about a slightly different approach to negotiation skills, an approach which is more behavioural, which I believe is more sustainable, which is more collaborative, an approach which will get to negotiated solutions, whether they're big fixed negotiations or just negotiations to resolve a conflict within a team or between individuals, which are more sustainable, which are more durable, which won't fall apart because one or other of the people involved feels somehow put upon as a result of how the negotiation's been concluded.